This is the pizza that you guys need to make. It is so delicious. It's lunch with Lisa. Hi, and welcome to Lunch with Lisa, where I make quick and easy healthy meals. And today I'm going to show you how I made Brian Lagerstrom's Sheet Pan Pizza 2.0. If you've ever wanted to make pizza at home and you've been scared to try, believe me, I spent years not wanting to do it because I didn't think I could do it right. This is the easiest pizza I've ever made, and it is pretty much foolproof and it's super delicious. Follow along with me as I'm going to take you through the process and show you just how easy it is. This sheet pan pizza just takes a few hours. I would normally start this around 3 p.m. and have it done by 7. So that's 4 hours. But it is so worth it. You could also do this ahead of time, put it in the fridge and make it later. I have actually stayed up late to make this, and it's always worth it. I like to print out recipes, and I found this beautiful recipe book on Amazon, link down below. And I've just been putting all my recipes in here, but it comes with these dividers, so you can divide up your recipes. For this recipe, you're gonna need Brian Lagerstrom's recipe for pizza sauce, or you can buy some at the store. Warm water, and I'm using filtered water. I bought this amazing filter. It filters out almost everything, including fluoride, because I got the fluoride attachments. 99.9% of fluoride. Anyways, I'll have a link down below for that one, just so you can use it too if you want. A packet of instant yeast, olive oil, all-purpose flour, or bread flour. I highly recommend using bread flour. It turns out way better. And salt. First, I like to start by warming up my water, just zapping it 30 seconds in the microwave, makes it the perfect temperature. And then I'm gonna put my water and my instant yeast into my stand mixer. Why I was so bad at baking before was that I never measured my ingredients with a food scale. I always used cups or volume type measurements. Now you can with the small like teaspoon, tablespoon type measurements, but it's really handy to have a food scale. One, because maybe you wanna know how much you're actually eating. And two, it is more accurate, and baking requires accuracy. So get yourself a food scale. I have one in my Amazon store, of course. For this, he does provide volume measurements, but he also provides grams. And that is my go-to now for baking or cooking with anything, is I love seeing the grams because I like to measure everything, especially with baking. So I really, really trust those recipes that have the gram measurement. So I'm gonna put my bowl on a food scale and I'm gonna measure out the olive oil, which is 20 grams. It's a little over a tablespoon. And then I'm gonna put in 425 grams of my bread flour, then 8 grams of salt. And then I'm gonna put this on my stand mixer, or you can knead it by hand. And I'm gonna put it on low for 3 minutes. Gonna form a messy ball. And then after that, I'm gonna increase the speed to high, which don't put it all the way up to high in a stand mixer. Oh my God, it's gonna go everywhere. I put it on about 4. 4 is like with the dough hook is probably the highest you wanna go. And then I mix it for about 6 minutes. And if you're like me, you kind of have to stand there and hold your stand mixer in place, because I have mine on this mat that lets it kind of move around. And so it was kind of like moving off to the side. I kind of stood there and held on to it for a little bit. Then you want to get a well-oiled container, preferably a rectangular one, because the sheet pan is rectangular. So you kind of want to have your dough in a rectangular shape once it's proofed, and you can flip it out and spread it out in a rectangular shape. But don't worry about it if you don't, it's really not that big a deal. You're gonna oil this up really well. So about a tablespoon or 2 of olive oil, and then put your dough in there and just kind of like flip it around and make sure it's all covered. Then cover your container and put it in a warm spot. Of course, my warmest spot is inside my oven with the light on. Then I'm gonna let that sit in there for 30 minutes. Once that's done, I'm gonna pull it out and give it a few stretch and folds. So I'm just gonna pick up one side and pull it up really high and stretch it and fold it over, and then do that to all 4 sides. Flip it over into a ball. Kind of like, I like to squish it down just because I like playing with dough. Then I'm gonna cover it and put it back in my warm spot and let it rise for 30 more minutes. Do another round of stretch and folds, and then let it rise for 30 more minutes. So that's the most time consuming part of this, is just the letting it rise. Then I'm gonna very liberally oil a sheet pan. I'm gonna spread the oil up into the corners and everywhere around. You wanna make sure it's really, really well oiled, every single bit, because if it's not, it's gonna stick to those little spots. So about 2 to 3 tablespoons more of oil. Go ahead and turn your oven on. Mine takes forever to get up to 550. It doesn't take 15 minutes, it takes like 30 minutes to an hour. So go ahead and get that started because it'll reach temperature right when you're ready to bake. When you heat your oven up, you want to put this pizza towards the bottom because you want the pizza to get really nice and crispy on the bottom. So the pizza steel is going to help with conducting the heat into the bottom of your pizza. And if you lower it down, it's going to get closer to the heat elements, make it cook a little bit better and faster. I think my first mistake when I first made this pizza was leaving it kind of in the middle of the oven. I'm putting my pizza directly onto my pizza steel, which is just my cast iron skillet. You can do that if you have something that conducts heat like that. It's worked out pretty well, but I do have to use Brian Lagerstrom's trick at the end to kind of get the bottom a little bit more crispy by putting it on my burners and letting it heat up a little bit. You're gonna flip the dough onto your sheet tray and you're gonna spread it out into a rectangular shape. It's not gonna go very far this first time. Then I like to use another sheet pan to cover this and let it rest for about 20 minutes. And then I'm going to try to pull and press and stretch that dough to reach the edges of the pan. Cover it again for 15 minutes. And then it should be able to stretch all the way. And you can stretch it a little bit beyond the edges so that it kind of springs back. Then you're gonna cover it one last time and let it rest again. Once your oven reaches temperature and your dough has been rested, then you're gonna build your pizza. You're gonna cover the dough from edge to edge with your mozzarella first. You can either use shredded or the slice. The slice is way easier. You're gonna need about 12 slices. Then you're going to make like 3 rows of your pizza sauce and just kind of splotch it around. You wanna leave some open spots of mozzarella. Supposedly it tastes better. I don't really know the difference. Then you're gonna add 10 to 12 of those fresh mozzarella balls that you can get at the store. And then you could just sprinkle this with some Parmesan cheese, put it in the oven and call it a day. It's your cheese pizza. But you could also add pepperoni. You can make a Hawaiian pizza, which I did for this video because that's what Luke, my son, wanted. So I just used Canadian bacon and some pineapple chunks. Turned out so good, you guys. This pizza is so delicious. Editing Lisa here, and I have no idea how I left out telling you actually like how long to bake this. You want to bake this in the oven for about 18 to 20 minutes, or you can do it longer if you want to bake it a little bit more. And you want to turn your pizza around halfway through. Bake it right on top of your pizza steel or stone, or you could use a cast iron griddle if you have that. Bake it for 18 to 20 minutes and pull it out, and you want to check underneath. And if it's not crispy underneath and it looks underdone, you're going to put this on top of your stove and turn your burners on and let the burners, like just for like a minute or two, crisp up the bottom. I was so amazed the first time I made this. I was like, this thing is evil. But once you plug in the calories, you have Carbon Diet app, or you have any MyFitnessPal or any kind of macro tracking app, frees you up to eat whatever you want because you can fit it into your day. So I was eating more calories then. I was eating about 2,000 calories a day because I was going into maintenance. So I was eating 2,000 to 2,200 calories a day, working out, feeling great, just trying to get my hunger levels back down so that I could go back into a deficit. So I did that for 3 months and I felt so good, but I did accumulate a little bit of body fat, but I think a lot of it was just water weight and just feeling kind of bloated. I needed to do that so that I could feel good again. And I did. I really felt like my nails started to grow again. My hair started to grow again. It's still gonna take months for my hair to get fuller from thinning out so much from starving myself for about 2 years. I wanted to share with you how many calories and carbs, fat, protein is in this pizza, because I could eat 2 pieces and be fine. And it filled me up and it was delicious. I mean, yes, I wanted to eat more, but at least I got my full. I'm small. I'm 5'3". I'm short. I can't eat as much food as like a 6'3" person, but I really, really want to. Thus, I was overweight for most of my life. But I cut out foods. I wouldn't let myself eat bread. I wouldn't let myself eat like pasta. I wouldn't let myself eat sweets and stuff like that. Candy, forget it. But I still was overweight because I was overeating on the healthy fat and protein and like fruits and veggies. And then when I did get around sugary stuff or things I was forbidden to eat, I would binge on it because I was like, ooh, I'm never gonna eat this again. For the Hawaiian sheet pan pizza, it is, for the whole pizza, it looks like a lot, but if you go down to one slice, it's only 290 calories, 14 grams of protein, 32 grams of carbs, and 11 grams of fat. And in that, there's about 2 grams of fiber. So hey, and if you just want to do like, I put sausage and pepperoni on it. It's a little bit more, it's about 359 calories, but you go up with protein, carbs, and fats, of course. But for the recipe as it is with low-fat pepperoni, it's 334 calories for one slice, 15 grams of protein, 31 grams of carbs, and about 16 grams of fat. And if you had 2 slices, that really wouldn't put a huge dent in your day if you're eating around 2,000 calories. So 1.5 slices, let's see, 500 calories, 1.5 slices. Boom, you get almost 23 grams of protein, 47 grams of carbs, and about 25 grams of fat. It's doable. And I was able to fit this into my meals just perfectly fine, especially when I wasn't in a calorie deficit. I'm not gonna make this now because I am in a deficit, so I'd wanna eat more because it is highly palatable. It is delicious. So go ahead and give this a try. Don't be afraid of pizza at home. Brian Lagerstrom has a bunch of really awesome videos. Of course, he's got lots of subscribers for a reason. But go ahead and try this out. I tried it out for you multiple times because it's that amazing. I wanted to share it with you because it is a really, really good pizza. Leave a comment down below. Let me know if you've tried it, if you want to make it, if you're going to make it, and what you're gonna put on it. I wanna know. And then, of course, send me your pizza recipe. Like, what's your favorite pizza to make at home if you make pizza at home? Maybe you have a better way to do it, maybe a lower calorie way to do it, maybe a healthier version that I would love to try and share with my audience. If you like this recipe, I'm sure you're gonna love this one too. And I will see you in my next video. It's Lunch with Lisa.